And this is the 5-Minute Podcast Review for Monday, June 18, 2018. Firstly, thanks to everyone who emailed new podcast suggestions after my call out last week. I'll be listening to all the new material over the next few weeks and feeding it into future episodes. And please keep the email suggestions coming using the email link I've put on your screen. So, down to business. First podcast this episode is Lend Me Your Ears. And the more literary among us will know the line, Lend Me Your Ears is from Shakespeare, and that's key to what this new podcast is all about. Each of the 6 episodes, of which the first 2 are up at the moment, takes a look at a different Shakespeare play to break down what it has to say about our current state of politics. So the first episode looks at Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, and this is a particularly relevant play. You might remember last year a version of Julius Caesar was staged in New York, and it featured a very Trump-like character in the Julius Caesar role. Now that got a lot of laughs from the audience, right up to the moment when the Trump-like Caesar is assassinated. Then it all got pretty awkward. The audience was hushed, conservative media went into full outrage mode, and sponsors pulled their support from the production. Now maybe that's all understandable. No matter what your political persuasion, you might think it's a bit much to depict the assassination of a US president in this way. Or is it? As this episode of Lend Me Your Ears explains, many leaders have been metaphorically depicted in the Julius Caesar role since the play was written in 1599, including in more recent years, Obama while he was president, and Hillary Clinton when she was running for and presumed going to win the presidency. And in all of these versions of the play passed without much fuss. The podcast takes us through the background to the killing of the Caesar figure and shows us that the play isn't actually condoning the assassination of leaders. In fact, the outtake is more that the assassination of Caesar was a big mistake. So, anyway, I'm not here to try and explain Shakespeare. I'm simply saying that looking at the messages in Shakespeare's plays up against current-day politics, which is what this podcast does, really helps make it more obvious what Shakespeare's plays are all about. So, if you've never really grasped the significance of Shakespeare but are curious, Lend Me Your Ears may be the podcast for you. If not, well, maybe TV sitcoms are more your speed, in which case you could be interested in the podcast Sitcom Geeks. This is a podcast by 2 UK sitcom writers, James Carey and Dave Cohen, where they discuss the art of sitcom writing for TV and radio. They discuss between themselves, and often they bring in a guest. Sitcom Geeks is primarily for aspiring sitcom writers, with many episodes effectively being tutorials. For example, just a few of the titles include The First 10 Pages, Odd Couples, The 9 Types of Funny, Notes, Ensemble Sitcoms, Secondary Characters, and Writing for Pilots. If you're dabbling in the world of comedy TV writing, I'd strongly recommend you check out Sitcom Geeks, where you can literally download decades of experience. But I know there's also a much broader audience for Sitcom Geeks. The show's easy to listen to and exposes the behind-the-scenes thinking on how the TV sitcoms we watch are put together. Not so much technically put together, but the writing devices and the tricks that are used to pull us in and keep us watching. So whether you're into TV comedy just as a viewer or as a creator, especially a would-be creator, check out Sitcom Geeks. Okay, that just about does it for this episode. Links for both Lend Me Your Ears and Sitcom Geeks should be on your screen. Scroll down or play around with your screen view options if you can't see the links, but they should be there. Otherwise, I will see you in the next episode. Thanks for listening.